In the scorching heat of the desert, the air was thick with tension, and the silence was deafening. The Israelites, a people who had just escaped the clutches of Egyptian slavery, were on the brink of a crisis. Their leader, Moses, had vanished into the clouds of Mount Sinai, leaving them in a state of anxious uncertainty. After 40 days, the people's patience wore thin, and their faith began to waver. They started to question whether Moses would ever return. In their fear and desperation, they turned to Aaron, Moses' brother, and demanded that he make them gods to lead them through the wilderness. This marked the beginning of one of the most infamous episodes in the history of the Israelites: the creation of the golden calf. The story of the golden calf is a powerful and poignant narrative that reveals the complexities of faith, leadership, and human nature. It is a tale that has been studied and debated for millennia, offering insights into the challenges faced by a people in a time of great transition. As we delve into this story, we will explore the motivations of the Israelites, the role of Aaron, and the response of Moses and God. We will also reflect on the broader implications of this event for the relationship between God and his people. When the Israelites saw that Moses was not returning, their initial reaction was understandable. They had been freed from the harsh conditions of slavery, but now they found themselves in an even more daunting situation. The wilderness was a harsh and unforgiving environment, and the people were entirely dependent on Moses for guidance and protection. Without him, they felt lost and vulnerable. The absence of their leader triggered a deep-seated fear, and in their desperation, they turned to the familiar comforts of the past. They demanded that Aaron, who was left in charge, create gods for them to worship, gods that would lead them through the wilderness. Aaron, faced with the pressure of the people, made a fateful decision. He asked the Israelites to bring him their gold jewelry, and using this, he fashioned a golden calf. The creation of the calf was not a spontaneous act, but a deliberate response to the people's demands. Aaron, perhaps hoping to placate the people and maintain some semblance of order, attempted to blend the image of the calf with the worship of the Lord. He declared that the calf was the God who had brought them out of Egypt, a clear attempt to align the new image with the recent miraculous events. However, this act of compromise only served to deepen the crisis. The Israelites' celebration of the golden calf was a stark departure from the covenant they had recently made with God. They engaged in wild and orgiastic festivities, dancing and singing in a manner that was far removed from the solemnity and reverence expected in the worship of the Lord. The scene at the foot of Mount Sinai was one of chaos and disorder, a sharp contrast to the divine presence that had been manifest in the cloud and fire on the mountain. The people's actions were a direct violation of the commandments that God had just given to Moses, and they demonstrated a profound lack of faith and commitment to the covenant. When Moses finally returned from the mountain, he was confronted with a scene that filled him with intense anger and sorrow. The sight of the golden calf and the revelry of the people was a devastating blow. Moses, who had just received the tablets of the law from God, was overwhelmed by the realization that the people had already turned away from the very commandments that were meant to guide them. In a moment of profound anguish, he threw down the tablets, shattering them at the foot of the mountain. This act was not just a display of anger, but a symbolic abrogation of the covenant that the people had so quickly broken. Moses' response to the crisis was swift and decisive. He confronted Aaron, demanding to know what had transpired. Aaron's explanation, while revealing his own weakness and inability to resist the people, also highlighted the complexity of the situation. The people's demands were driven by fear and a lack of faith, and Aaron's compromise was an attempt to maintain some level of control. However, this compromise only exacerbated the problem, leading to a deeper breach of the covenant. Moses then took a series of actions to address the crisis. He destroyed the golden calf, burning it and grinding it into powder, which he then scattered over the water and made the people drink. This act was a powerful symbol of judgment and accountability, forcing the people to confront the consequences of their actions. Moses' command for the Levites to strike down those who had participated in the idolatry was a severe but necessary measure to restore order and reaffirm the people's commitment to the Lord. The aftermath of the golden calf incident was a period of intense reflection and repentance. Moses, recognizing the gravity of the situation, interceded on behalf of the people. He appealed to God's mercy, reminding him of the covenant promises made to the patriarchs and the importance of maintaining God's reputation among the nations. God, while expressing his anger, ultimately responded to Moses' intercession and spared the people. However, the incident left a lasting impact on the relationship between God and the Israelites. The story of the golden calf is a reminder of the fragility of faith and the dangers of compromise. It highlights the importance of leadership and the need for individuals to resist the pressures of the crowd. It also underscores the significance of the covenant and the consequences of violating it. The Israelites' actions were a test of their commitment to the Lord, and their failure to remain faithful serves as a cautionary tale for future generations. In the end, the golden calf incident was a pivotal moment in the history of the Israelites. It tested their resolve, challenged their leaders, and reaffirmed the importance of the covenant. The story continues to resonate today, offering lessons in faith, leadership, and the enduring power of God's grace. In the silence of the desert, the shattered tablets lay as a testament to the fragility of faith. The story of the golden calf remains a powerful reminder of the ongoing struggle between the divine and the human, a struggle that continues to shape the lives of people to this day.